Welcome to IT Handy Guide tutorial. My name is Kevin. In this tutorial, I'm going to discuss the VisualStudioCode extension. Okay, so this is all the extension that I'm going to install. The first one, I'm going to show you how to go to the extension page. So you need to click this one, or you can click the Ctrl-Shift-X. Ctrl-Shift-X. So it will jump to here. Or you can go to the File Preference. Over here, you will see there's an extension. Okay. If you can't see this sidebar, you can click that and make sure you have an activity bar. Okay, that's all. Alright, so this is the extension. Okay, the first one I'm going to discuss is the bracket pair. So if you go to the bracket pair, go to the here, search the bracket pair. What will happen is it will show you this. This extension is deprecated as this function is now built into the VisualStudioCode. So now it's a built-in feature in VisualStudioCode, so you don't have to install the bracket pair anymore. Therefore, you need to go to the setting to search the bracket pair. So make sure you have to enable this one and also enable this one to true. Make sure you have to do these two for true. Okay. So if you go to here, download this jQUI. Open the Chrome and try to download the jQUI. And Control save, Control S to save into the desktop. Okay, so I'm going to copy this one to JS folder. Alright, so when you enable the bracket pair, you will be able to see this. All the bracket, they actually have a different color, and like this one will match to this one, so they have the same color. This one will match to this one, so they have the same color. So bracket pair is a built-in feature for now. Okay, the next one I'm going to discuss is the live server. So I copy this. So this is a live server. Okay, live server is a local live server. It allows you to see changes without having to reload. What does that mean? Okay, I make example. So I'm going to install the live server. In the meantime, I'm going to open the index.html, and over here I'm going to copy this one to the index.html. So I copy to this and delete phi and type phi again, press enter. So the emmet will create this code for me. Okay, for now I can show the detail. So it will show me this is the live server, this and that, and I close that one. Okay, so how can I use the live server? It's pretty easy. You right click this one and click open with live server. So when you open with the live server, it will open. It will ask you to allow access. So you allow access over here. So this is a live server. Over here, I press Ctrl B to hide the sidebar, so I can show you this. Alright, let me show you this. If I go to here, click the index.html. Okay, so this is opened by live server. They use the port 5500, and this one is just a static web page. So if I try to make some changes, what will happen is the live server will automatically update. Okay, if I save again, it will update. Update again. But with this one, you have to press refresh, press F5 to refresh, because this one is not run by live server, but this one is run by localhost and port 5500. Okay, so if you want to stop the live server, you can just click this one. So when you see this is go live, that means you actually stop the live server. Okay, the second way to start the live server is to the first way is right click, hit this one, open with the live server. Second way is you open the index.html or any HTML and then you press the go live. So when you press the go live, it will open by the live server. So this is the second way to open that. Which way do you prefer? I actually prefer this way because every time when I try to change something over here, I need to find where is the corresponding file. Like I go to here, I right click this one and open the live server, but that is quite annoying because while doing the programming, I always hide this one so I can have more space to see what's going on. So I have to unhide and right click and open the with live server. I feel annoying, so therefore I just click the go live straight away over here. That made me more convenient. Okay, so this is a live server. The next one I'm going to discuss the, okay, let me delete this. The next one I'm going to discuss the Prettier. Okay, Prettier is an extension that can format my code. So how can I do that? Let me show you this first. So you need to go to the setting and search the formatter. So at the moment, we didn't set up any formatter, so that is none over here. Okay, so I'm going to, before I install Prettier, I'm going to do something for to show you something. Okay, I need to go to the index.html and type this one and delete fee and type fee again, press enter. So Emmet will create a HTML code for me. Alright, so this is my simple code. What I'm going to do is to format this file. Before I format, I need to make this file ugly. So I press enter over here, press enter. So you can see this is unordered list, make this so ugly right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the format document. So I press F1 and then type format document. So look at this. The shortcut, the keyboard shortcut is Shift Alt F. Okay, so I format the document. After I format the document, it actually didn't do anything right because you can see the unordered list is still very ugly. So what's going on is they actually use the default formatter. The default formatter is the HTML feature. Let me show you. So this is the HTML language feature. This is the default formatter. Alright, so I don't like the default formatter, so I'm going to install the Prettier. So I go to here and search Prettier. So I'm going to install the Prettier now. Okay, it takes a while to install the Prettier. So now it's just finished to install the Prettier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the format again. So in this time, I press F1 and type format. So now I select the format document. It will ask me to configure. So I configure. They will ask me which formatter do you want. I use the Prettier. By default, I use the HTML language feature, but now because I have a Prettier, so I select the Prettier. So that means I use the Prettier to format my code. You can see my unordered list this unordered list is more tidy now. Okay. All right. The other way to, okay, let me have a look. Prettier. So basically, I prefer to keep this default formatter as a none. Okay, as a none. So over here, if you look at this again, you will see there's a Prettier over here. I don't like to set to the Prettier to the default formatter. I don't like this way. I prefer to set this to none, just use the default setting, because I can still use different formatter. For example, I press Ctrl Z again, so this unordered list become ugly. So if I want to use other formatter, what I can do is I press F1, I type format, and here's another thing, is called format document width. So I can select HTML language feature. Okay, I also can configure default formatter again if I want. Okay, I press this one. So which formatter I want to use? I use the Prettier again. So basically, I can change the formatter by typing format document width. And over here, I can change the default formatter for the HTML. But I still want to use the Prettier, so I select the Prettier. Okay, so this is how it goes. Alright. Oh, the other thing is called format unsafe. Format unsafe is a different setting you can search. Even though I don't like this setting, but I still want to show you. So if you type, okay, I press Ctrl Z. So now the unordered list is still ugly now. So I search the format unsafe. Okay, if I tick this one, I come back to here, I press Ctrl S, that means safe. So every time when I press Ctrl S, it will actually format the file again. I don't like this setting, be honest with you, because some of the file I don't want to have a format. So I untick this one, just to set as a default setting. Alright, so let me Ctrl C, change back, and press Ctrl S to save again. So now when I press Ctrl S to save again, it will not format anymore. That's good. Okay, what is the next? Let me double check. Okay, I just showed you this before. Okay, and that's okay. Send line. Send line is something that I normally do. So if I search the send line, what will happen is it's a Prettier bracket send line. So if this one is true, okay, if this one is false, when you use the formatter, I press Shift O F to format. Okay, you will see this one is actually in this line. If you tick this one, I press Shift O F, and this one will become the same line. So this is different. Okay, I personally prefer to tick this one because I don't want to have too many lines. So in this case, I prefer to set the same line. Alright, the next one is the okay, I press Ctrl S. The next one is the F1 and Ctrl P. So when you type F1, they will automatically to type this right arrow. But if you type Ctrl P, then you have to type the right arrow in order to type the format. So you can remember F1 or Ctrl P, doesn't really matter. Just remember one, okay? Just remember you can use Ctrl P or F1, up to you. Okay, the next. Alright, in summary, after you install the Prettier, and I prefer to set up the same line over here, and I don't like format unsafe. Okay, I don't tick this one. And also the next one is default formatter. Okay, I don't set any default formatter. Okay, that's all. Next one is called auto rename tag. Okay, auto rename tag. So let me search this extension first. So this is auto rename tag. This is the extension. Okay, I'm not going to install now, but I'm going to show you is I need to type the sample code again. So let me delete this. Okay, this is my sample code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this. If I change this one to A, this correspond tag will not change to A. If I change this one to A, this correspond tag will not change to A, and this is quite annoying. Okay, so therefore I need to have an extension. It's called auto rename tag. So I'm going to install this one. It will take a while, just wait. Alright, so after I install the auto rename tag, what I can do, I change this tag to A, it will automatically change the corresponding tag to A. I change this one to A, and it will automatically change the corresponding tag to A. So that's the reason I highly suggest you to, highly recommend you to install the auto rename tag. That's all. Okay. So let me delete this. The next one is the CSS peak. So let me search this extension. So I go to here, search the CSS peak. Okay, so this is an extension, very nice one. So what I'm going to show you is to go to this link. So let me go to this place. Okay, over here you click row, and this one click row. And with this one, I'm going to save to index2.html. The other one I'm going to save to style, style, style2.css. Okay, close these two. So this is just an example. I'm going to copy this one to here, copy this one to CSS. Okay, that's all. Alright, so look at this. If I open this one, I'm going to press Shift, Alt, and F to format the document. With the other one, is this one. I'm going to press Shift, Alt, F to format the document. So select the Prettier. That's all. Okay, so I'm going to add a few CSS style. It's called test1 to test5. So copy this one. I'm going to paste to here. And I'm going to format again, Shift Alt F. Come back to CSS2. I'm going to add the reference. So at the moment, the reference is style.css. I'm going to change to CSS and the style2. That's it. Okay, so now I just have the style. So what's going on is, at the moment, if I press Ctrl and left click, it will not do anything, right? So after I'm going to here, I'm going to install the CSS peak. I press install. What will happen is, okay, let me close this one, come back again. Sometimes you have to restart the VS Code in order to use the extension. So basically, over here, let me close these two again. Come back to the style2 and come back to the CSS. Come back to the index2 as well. Alright, so now I press Ctrl and use my mouse to point here and left click. Since that it hasn't activated yet. Okay. Let me go to the extension again to see what's going on. CSS peak. It should work now. VS Code has now built-in support auto rename tag. Just configure, enable it. Control. You don't have to worry about this. So you can close that one. Okay, I installed the CSS peak. I'm supposed to be able to press Ctrl and left click in order to jump to the CSS style. but for some reason it didn't really work. So let me double check what's going on. Okay, sometimes it happens. What I've done is I right click this one and I select the disable and then enable again and then reopen the Visual Studio Code. So now the CSS peak totally work. How can you use the CSS peak? You press Ctrl and use your mouse to move to here. It will show you this little window and to show you, hey, this is the wrap and this is how it looks like. If you click Ctrl and press left click, it will jump to here. It will show you this is the CSS style. You have just click. So this is called CSS peak. The other one is called HTML support. This is also important. At the moment, if you go to here, we have like test 1 to test 5. So if I go to here, I press space and type T and type T, it doesn't give me any like hint at all. So I need to have a HTML CSS support. I'm going to search this one. So go to the extension, search the HTML CSS support. So I'm going to install this one. It will take a while to install. Okay, after I install that, I come back to here. I'm going to press space, I press T. Now it will show me test 01 to test 05. Because I use this CSS style, so it will go to style 2 to check where is the CSS style start from T. At the moment, the CSS style start from T, we have test 01 to test 05. So it's like a auto complete. So I just type this one. Okay, so this is the way you use the HTML support. So basically what you need is these two, CSS peak and the HTML CSS support, these two. Alright, the next one is indent rainbow. Okay, what is the indent rainbow? Let me search the indent rainbow first. Okay, at the moment, you can see I have a like different line. We have a different line representing like, oh, this is the body. So I follow this line to here, and this is the body, like this. So this is what happened before I install the rainbow. So after I install the rainbow, what will happen is, it'll take a while, just wait. It will show me this color. Okay, it will show me this color. So if you have this color, that will make me more clear. Okay, this header is between here to here because I have a color. I can see straight away. So without this color, I can only see the line. Okay, so this is called the indent rainbow. The next one is the to-do highlight, and this is also important. Okay, let me show you the to-do highlight. Before I use the to-do highlight, let me edit some file. Press save. Come back to here. Okay, let me change everything back. Just give me a second. I shouldn't use test 5. Okay, alright. So come back to the style.css. At the moment, I didn't type anything, so I'm going to type this one. Right click, press copy, press enter, save, and I'm going to app.js. So in the app.js, I'm going to type this. Right click, copy and paste. Okay, next one is index over here. So I'm going to type this. Right click, copy. Okay, that's all. So before I install this extension, okay, before I install this extension, I typed to do and fix me. It didn't happen anything. So after I install that, what will happen is it will show me the to do. Okay, come back to here, it show me the to do, and here it show me the fix me. Okay, so I can see I have a to do and fix me, and this one I have a to do, I have a fix me. Okay, there's a problem. Look at this. If I type fix me or lowercase fix me. It didn't do anything. See, it didn't do anything. But if I type uppercase, it will highlight. So it will only highlight the uppercase. And if you type everything in uppercase, if you don't have a comment, they will not show you anything. If you have a so you need to type. If you type like this, it will not show you anything again. So you have to type exactly the fix me uppercase and the comment. Okay. And I don't like this way. So what I'm going to do is I don't like the case sensitive. So what I'm going to do is to change the case sensitive. So I'm going to setting. Where is it? Let me show you. Oh, here. So I'm going to setting, and in the setting, I type to do. Okay. So over here, there's a case sensitive. I untick this one. After I tick this one, what will happen is it didn't really care about the case. It was just a highlight. And this one, see the highlight. This is a lowercase to do, and this is the uppercase T, uppercase D. Still work. And with this one, you can see that still work. Okay, it doesn't really matter it's in a comment or not. Okay, this one is not in a comment. They still highlight. All right. So this is the to do highlight. That's all. Okay, why do I like the case insensitive? Because I have a different team member. Sometimes I tell them you have to type uppercase fix me and the uppercase to do, but sometimes they just type the lowercase. You can't control that. So therefore, I highly recommend you to tick this one, untick this one to make that is a case insensitive. Okay, the next one is called material theme. This is totally optional, up to you. Okay, so if I go to here and download the material theme, it will take a while to install. So after I install the theme, I can go to here. Just wait. It takes a while. Still installing. Okay, it's just the install. So I better to just close the Visual Studio again and reopen it. Come back to here and click current things and search material. Okay, there are different kind of things in the material. So what I like is to use the high contrast. Okay, so this is a thing, make my eyes more clear because they have like a green color. All right. So the next one is called material icon themes or VS Code icon. It's totally up to you. Let me show you what's the difference. Okay, so this is the difference. Do you like this icon or this icon? Okay, these are different icons. So if you, I personally prefer the Visual Studio Code icons, and I don't like the material icon things. So it's really totally up to you. All right, so let me show you the difference. I'm going to install the material icon theme first. So I copy this, come back to the extension, and search this one, and install. Okay, it's still installing. So what will happen is this is the icon, and after I install, it will automatically to update the icon. So it will change from this one to this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uninstall the material icon. Okay, after I reinstall this, I reload the Visual Studio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the VS Code icon. So look at this, my icon just changed back. So this is the original icon. So I'm going to install the Visual Studio Code icon. So install this one. So what will happen is it will change from this one to this. Let me show you, still installing to this. Okay, to this. Okay, look at that. I have a very big letter, it's called JS. But if I go to here, the JS is just too small. I don't like that. That's the reason I personally prefer the Visual Studio icon. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. So here you will ask me which one do you prefer. I choose the Visual Studio Code icon as my setting. Alright, the next one is called Live Sas Complier. Okay, Sas is a very important thing. So what is a Sas? Sas stands for Semantically Awesome Style Sheet. Sas is a CSS extension that contains the concept of a variable nested rule, inline, import, and mode. It's like a object-oriented move to the CSS. And the Sas can also keep the CSS more organized and more maintainable. So everyone should learn Sas, be honest with you. Okay, so but you also need the Sas compiler in order to create a CSS. So therefore, I'm going to show you this. It's called Live Sas Complier. So I'm going to install this extension. Okay, look at this. The original person is Wicked Day, I think. Okay, but this person doesn't update anymore. So the last update is 2018. So therefore, the other guy is Glenn Marks. They actually just like report everything from the previous one because it's open source. So they just report everything from the previous one to here. So this guy actually in 2022 they still maintain. So you can trust this one. So I'm going to install the Live Sas Complier. Okay. So after I install the Live Sas Complier, there are a few things I have to compare. So firstly, you have to go to the extension setting. You have to go to the setting, open the extension, and over here you will see there's a Live Sas Complier. Select that one, move down, try to search the generate map and format. So these two, generate map and format. So I'm going to click this one. It will open the setting.json and set up the generate map to false. The other one, if I tick, okay, the other one, if I tick this one, is the format. If I tick this one, is the format. So it will generate this block. All right. So what will happen is this one by default that is true, but I don't like to create the I don't want to generate any map file. So that's the reason I set to false. I will show you what is the map file later. Okay, so with this one, we have a few options. Let me show you. Oh, the setting.json is quite important. If you want to know where it is, this is the path. Or you can right click this one and copy the path. When you copy the path, you can paste to anywhere you want. So when you paste to here, it will show you this is a location of the setting.json. Or you can just right click and reveal in the file explorer. They will show you where it is. Okay, so this is quite important. When you log in your Visual Studio Code, you will be able to sync your setting.json to the Microsoft account. Then next time when you log in the Microsoft account again, every single of your setting will come back because they actually back out the setting.json. Okay, the next one is if you are in a production environment, then you should change this one to compress. Let me show you. So you type this mark and you can search compress. And if your format is compressed means they will generate the CSS in one line. They will generate all of your CSS in just the one line. So because it's just a one line, so you have to select the different value of this one. So you have to select like min means mini or mini CSS. Okay, so this is a save pass. Save pass doesn't have a default value. In this case, I personally prefer to save to dist folder. Dist stands for distribution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type this value. Okay, so it will generate the CSS file into dist folder and the CSS folder. Alright, so this is what I normally do in a production environment. Okay, and compression means it will generate a file just contain one line, and CSS means this is just the name of the CSS. Okay, so this false means by default the live Sas compiler will generate this, okay, map file. But I don't really know how to use this map file, so that's the reason I prefer set this one to false. So make sure they don't generate any map file. Alright, so this is how it goes. So if you are using the developer environment, what will happen is you should type expand over here. Be honest with you, you can just delete this and type this, and you can use the drop down to select expand. The other one, you can also do the same thing, and you can select CSS. So this is what I do in a production environment. Expand means it will generate the CSS file like this, multiple line. That is called expand, and the file name should be .css. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to generate the CSS. You can see there's a can I see? Oh, did I install that? Already installed. Okay, so I should be able to see. Oh, because I haven't created a Sas yet, so I'm going to generate. I'm going to create a Sas file now. So I'm going to create the Sas main.scss. So going back to here. Oh, not this one. SCSS main SCSS. Okay, so I'm going to create a Sas folder, and over here I'm going to type my Sas code. So I'm going to type here, press copy. Alright, so over here I press Ctrl Shift Alt F to format Prettier. So I format by Prettier. Okay, so what will happen is I create a CSS style that is body, and inside of the body have a h1. Okay, so this is a Sas. It's called nesting, and this is not the real CSS. So what I should do is I'm going to click the watch Sas. So when I click the watch Sas, you actually generate a distribution folder, CSS folder, and main.css, and this is the real CSS. And then you have to click this again. That means not watching. Okay. Alright, so this is my Sas file. So I just need to update my Sas file, and it will automatically generate the real CSS. You don't have to worry about that. So this is a way to use the Sas. Okay, let me double check. Alright, previously what I said is this is the this is the development environment. What about if you are in a production environment? What will happen is I need to change one to compress, and this one to mini CSS. Okay, so I press over here, I press watch Sas, So it will generate a minima CSS. So everything in just a one line. But if you go to this one, this is expandable. So that actually have a multiple line. So that's a different. So this is a compress and this is expand. Okay. So what I'm going to do is change everything back, because this is my environment variable. This is my development environment. So I don't want to use the compress and mini CSS. So I want to change everything back. So now I just change everything back. So I'm going to delete this mini file. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this one to true, or I just select this and press Ctrl KC to comment this line. So after I comment this line, what will happen is if I start watch and watch this again, it will generate a map file. And this is a map file. It's called like version 3 source blah blah and that. And I personally don't really understand what is going on with the map file. So I personally prefer to set this one to false, just to ensure they don't create the map file. Okay, so I can close that one. I can delete that one. So if I watch the Sas again, it will just update the main.css. It will not do anything else. Okay, so it's still watching, so I have to click this again to make sure that it's not watching. Okay, make sure that it's not watching. That's all. So this is a live Sas compiler. So next one is the REST client. Okay, REST client is like a Postman or Fiddler, but it is built in a VisualStudioCode. REST client can test the RESTful API. So let me show you how to test the RESTful API. Okay, so what's going on is there's a website is called, okay, let me search this one first. And install. Alright, so after I install that, then I can test the RESTful API. And there's a fake API I'm going to introduce to you. It's called this one. It's called JSON placeholder. JSON placeholder is a free fake API testing and prototyping. So that means if you just want to learn the front end, that can be Angular, React, or Vue, and you need to have a fake API in order to test your code. In this case, you can use the JSON placeholder. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the REST API to test the JSON placeholder. So I'm going to create a new file. It's called request.html. So over here, I'm going to create a new file. It's called request.html. And JSON placeholder is a free fake API. So we are going to practice the REST client with the JSON placeholder. So you open the request.html and type this. Okay, it will automatically generate a send request. So I will generate a get request. And over here, I will generate a post request. Get means I want to read the data. Post means I want to insert a data. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select set request for the first one. So what will happen is it will return me 200 status code. What is 200? So if you go to the link I just give to you, okay, 200 means okay, we have just received the request. That means the API server already received your request. You can double check your ID, these kind of things. So it's like a read means read information. So next one is insert. So if I click the send repost for this, so what will happen is the status code will become 201. What is the 201 means? 201 means created. So we have received a request and create something for you. Okay, so post is normally used for insert. Alright, And with this one is the ID, and it didn't show me the title and body. I'm not sure what's going on, but that is fine. I can get the 201 status code. That is good enough for me. Okay, the next one is called code spell checker. So if I go to here, I'm going to type the code spell checker. Alright, so this is the code spell checker. If you have a different language, you can select for the different language over here. So, but my example is the English, so I'm going to install the code spell checker. But before I install that, I need to show you something. So I need to go to the style.css and copy this. And then go to the app.js and copy this. Then go to the index.html, this one. Okay, I'm going to copy this. Okay, look at that. This one is start, it's a run spelling, and this one is 0, it's also run spelling. This one should be value, it's still also run spelling. So this one, value, start, and 0, these are run spelling. And this one is value, start, 0, and value. Okay, so they always, these three files always contain a run spelling. And if I go to here and press Control dot, okay, I need to change this one back, and press Control dot. It doesn't have anything show me at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the code speller now. So I'm going to the setting, install the code speller. It will take a while to install the code speller. So let me show you what's going on. Okay, let me double check. Okay, come back to here. Come back to here. You can see they actually tell me, hey, this one is wrong. See, this one is wrong. I can see feel the problem, just the unknown words. Alright, so it just show me start, 0, and the value. That's how wrong. So what I can do is I can press Control dot. It will show me a suggestion. Okay, or you can over here and click this one. Okay, show me my suggestion. That is called start. S-T-A-R-T. S-T-A-R-T. Starts. S-T-A-R-T-S. Okay, this one. Start from 0. And I press Control dot. And it will show me the 0 suggestion. With this one, I can do the same thing. That is value. So this is value. See, I just correct my spelling. Then I press Shift Alt F to format my document by Prettier. And with this one, I can go to the JS. So I can also press Control dot, change this one to value. Same as this one, Control dot, change this one to start, and change this one to 0. Okay, I also can press Shift Alt F to format. So make sure I use the Prettier to format the CSS, to format the JSON, JS. The next one is the index. Okay, with this one, I know my value is wrong, start is wrong, 0 is wrong, but this is the class, so they didn't check the class. Okay, they didn't tell me what's wrong here, but because the code speller cannot do this, right? So in this case, I press Control dot and change this one to value, and press Control dot, change this one to like start, press Control dot, change this one to 0. Alright, so this is the way you should use the code speller. The other thing is I'm going to copy this line, the CSS line. Show me. Okay. And come back to here. Okay, I just register my CSS style2.css into the index.html. So in this case, I still cannot change this one. See, even if I type like value or text, see, just because it doesn't really have this value in this one, so that's the reason you can't. The code builder is not working at all, or the CSS peak or the HTML CSS support, it doesn't really work for this one. Okay, so basically this is like a downside, but that's okay. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you is the live share. Okay, so just copy the name, live share, come back to here and close everything. And live share is created by Microsoft, so you can just install that. All right, live share allow two persons are using VS Code to edit the same file at the same time. So live share is something like two people. I use two people is better. Okay, like two people are using Google document to edit the same file at the same time. It's just like Google document. Two people can edit at the same time, but it's in a VisualStudioCode. And then live share allow you to do the pair programming and the real-time code collaboration in VS. I'm not going to demonstrate what is the live share, but you can watch the YouTube video by yourself. So you can click this link, and it will open the YouTube video. Then you can watch by yourself. Okay, it's like 30 minutes. All right, that's pretty much all for all the extension. I mean all the free extension. Okay, I hope you enjoy my tutorial. Have a good day.